You have already had thousands of chances to become lucid. You do not remember a single one of them. It is not that you did not dream. You dreamed every night of your life, 4 or 5 times a night, for hours. It is that, within about 5 minutes of waking, most of it is gone. Within 10, nearly all of it. That is not a personal failing. It is how the sleeping brain handles memory. Dreams are not written down as you have them. They have to be caught. Which is why every serious tradition of dream work, without exception, begins in the same unglamorous place. Not with a technique, with a pen. A dream you cannot remember is a night you did not attend. And it matters a great deal what kind of writing. A diary records what happened. An instrument measures it, and measurement is what lets you change something. Here is the mechanism, and it is worth being precise about. You do not become lucid at random. You become lucid by recognizing something, an impossibility, an inconsistency, a thing that only ever happens in your dreams, a dream sign. And you cannot recognize what you have never catalogued. The people who become lucid reliably are, almost without exception, the people who keep a log. Not because writing is virtuous, but because the log is where the dream signs come from. So the journal opens with a scale, 5 levels. Non-lucid, where the dream feels entirely real. Pre-lucid, where something feels impossible but you don't quite catch it. Briefly lucid, where you realize and then lose it. Lucid, where awareness holds and you can choose. And fully lucid, where the dream is vivid and stable and you direct it. Rating every night sounds clinical. It is the opposite. It is what turns a vague sense of getting better at this into something you can actually see. And it carries a line worth underlining. Even non-lucid dreams carry profound symbolic value. Every entry matters. Then it gives you 4 categories to sort your dream signs into. Inner awareness, thoughts, emotions, or sensations that don't match the scenario. Action, you or someone else does something impossible. Flying, breathing underwater. Form, a body or an object is the wrong shape, the wrong size, or transforms. And context, the setting itself is wrong. You are at work, but it is your childhood home. Mark them with an asterisk as you write. Track them. Within weeks, you will have your own list of the things your mind does when it is dreaming. And those are the specific triggers you can train yourself to catch. The journal is built in 6 sections, and each one does a different job. 1. Pre-sleep rituals, a template for every night. The date, the lunar phase, which induction technique you are running, mild, wild, WBTB, SSILD, the reality checks you performed that day, any energy work or ritual, and your intention for the night, written out in your own hand. There is a checklist for the whole routine and a breath to carry you over the threshold. 4 counts in, 7 held, 8 out. Draw in the intention. Let it saturate. Release into the dream. 2. The Dream Temple. And this is the section I would point to if you asked what makes this different from a notebook. Your dream temple is the room you walk into to do the work. The journal builds it in 4 steps. Design it awake. A rough layout, the entrance, the materials, the 4 elements placed. Build it in meditation until it is sensory rather than conceptual. Establish it lucid. On becoming lucid and stable, make it your first destination. And then keep returning until it stops being a setting and becomes a structure. There is a worksheet for the design, where the entrance is, what it is made of, stone, wood, crystal, metal, Starlight, where fire lives, where the water sits, where the air moves, where the grounding stone is. And a visit log, how you entered, called aloud, or stepped through, how stable it was, 1 to 5, what was new or had changed since last time, and what work you performed there. That last field is the one that accumulates. 3. The journal proper. 70 structured entries, each a full spread. Date, time you woke, moon phase, lucidity rating, emotional tone, and then the narrative, written in present tense to keep it vivid. Then the analysis side. Dream signs by category. Key symbols, recurring elements, a guided reflection prompt that rotates as you go, so you are not answering the same question 70 times. And a field for connections to previous entries, which is the field that quietly turns a stack of nights into a network. 4. Ritual workings, because at some point the practice stops being observational. It opens with the planetary correspondences, Sun for vitality and confidence, Moon for intuition, emotion and cycles, Mercury for communication and learning, Venus for love, beauty and art, Mars for courage and decisive action, Jupiter for abundance and wisdom, Saturn for discipline, structure and mastery. And one instruction that sets the tone: read each working through before attempting it, and always stabilize the dream before you begin. Ritual 1. Planetary energy charging. Choose the planet that matches what you actually need, and be honest about the need. Draw the glyph in the planet's color, pressing hard enough to make it a talisman. Place it under your pillow. Set the intention aloud. Then carry it in with you. Ritual 2. Sigil charging and activation. Write the intention in a single line. Strike out the repeating letters. Fuse what is left into one symbol your conscious mind can no longer read. Charge it in meditation, in the feeling of the thing already done. Then plant it inside the lucid dream. Ritual 3. Spirit Guide Introduction. Build a meeting place in your temple, somewhere you would actually want to sit and talk. Call, with expectation rather than hope. Then wait receptively. The first meeting is only an introduction. Everything good comes after it. And every working has a log. What you intended, what occurred in the dream, the felt sense, the messages, the images, and then the part most people skip and should not. Waking results and synchronicities, tracked over days and weeks. That is the only honest way to evaluate any of this. 5. Symbol tracking. This is where the whole thing pays off. Because no single night tells you very much. 50 of them, recorded consistently, tell you a great deal. There is a recurring symbol log. The symbol, what it means to you, which entries it appeared in, how often it returns. Over months, you build your own dream dictionary, and it will be worth more to you than any published one because it is yours. There are pages for how your emotional tone shifts across the practice, the feelings that keep returning, and the ones that fade as the work goes on. And pages for the beings who keep appearing, human, animal, guide, for the geography of your dreamscape, which is far more consistent than you would expect, and for the transformations you can only see by looking back across months. 6. Reference, the part you will keep flipping back to. The stabilization sequence, for the moment, lucidity arrives and immediately threatens to collapse. Speak it aloud. Rub your hands together. Engage your senses. Touch, look, listen. Spin if you need to, then ground yourself and proceed. The induction techniques laid out plainly. Mild and its mnemonic. Wild and what it asks of you. WBTB and its timing. SSILD and its cycles. Plus a beginner's timeline, so you know what progress actually looks like. A symbol glossary to start you off. Death, keys and locks, snakes and the rest. With the caution that matters most. These are openings, not answers. Your own meanings override every one of them. A lunar phase wheel for matching the work to the cycle. New moon for beginnings and intention. Full moon for peak vividness and psychic work. Waning for release. And a reference on the architecture of sleep itself, so you know which part of the night you are aiming at. And that is the shape of it. Preparation. A temple. 70 nights. 3 workings. The patterns underneath them. And the reference to hold it all together. The dreamer who records their dreams builds a bridge between worlds. The Dream Journal is the companion practice for the Dream series. Where dreamwalking teaches the art, this is where you live it. 70 structured dream entries with guided prompts, pre-sleep ritual pages and intention templates, a dream temple section from design through meditation to visit logs, 3 full ritual workings with preparation and logs, and symbol tracking, pattern analysis, and a full reference section. Your next great adventure awaits, the moment you close your eyes. The Dream Journal, available now at books.by/Kale Waring.